Social media, changing identities day to day. Today in this world and society, people live dominated by social media. People all around the world use social media every day. Many of us are addicted to it and can't go days without using it. Social media is in everyone's life and it plays a big role in all of ours. Ultimately, we live in a world dominated by social media, and many of us let social media change us and our identities. It's crazy to think about how people actually let social media change them because in all reality it's just social media. It's nothing but to some people it's their lives. People let social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter change the person they truly are, and it's sad that our society accepts it. It's true that people let social media change their identities. There is research to back it up. Scholars and other people have done research to see if it's true and why it happens. There can be multiple reasons why someone would let a social media account change their true identity. I wonder if people let it change their identities. No, and if so, how do they feel about it? People at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and other social media accounts change their identities. They change the way they look, talk, and other things about them, all because these social media sites influence them to change themselves. Why are people letting themselves change due to society? This essay will talk about how social media can influence people's identities, how might Facebook impact the way an individual user identifies themselves according to gender, ethnicity, or sexual orientation. How might social media stretch, change, reinforce, or shadow their identities of users? Facts will be provided from outside sources that support these theories. People will let these social media accounts change their lives every day, and some of them don't even realize that they are letting it happen. So how does Facebook influence people's identities? What does it do to make them change their identities? People allow Facebook to influence their identities because they just want to fit in and be accepted by society. Nobody wants to not fit in with society and be judged by society. Being made fun of and bullied are big reasons why people make it so important to fit in with society. People letting Facebook influence their identities to fit in with society and be accepted by it is a very big discussion topic. There are many writings and scholarly articles written about this topic of social media influences of how social media influences people's identities. So the question is, what makes people allow their identities to be influenced by Facebook and other social media programs? People feel the need to be perfect on social media. Kelsey Sundstrom wrote, "We are conditioned to project only our best, albeit unrealistic, selves on our social media profiles as a modern way of virtually keeping up with the Joneses. It is true that people only want other people to see the best of them, and that's a reason our identities get influenced by social media programs like Facebook. Another way people's identities get influenced by the amount of friends you have on social media accounts. In the book, A Culture, a Reader for Writers, there's a writing called Living Within Social Networks by Stephen D. Krause, and he writes about how tools like Facebook are not going away, and how a girl says having multiple friends is living, not going out with real people, but having over 300 friends is living. That should make people realize that people's lives are going to always be influenced by social media programs, and they are not going away. People are the ones that are letting social media influence their identities. It is not social media itself. It is the people that use social media and let it run their lives. There isn't a prevention to this problem because, like Krause said, these social media tools are never going away. So if people want social media to stop influencing their and other people's identities, they have to do something, because if they do nothing, it will just happen, because social media tools are never going away. With the world becoming dominated by social media, different things begin to be seen. Different things based on people's genders, race, and sexual orientation are now more commonly seen. People aren't scared to hide how they feel about who they are. It is now more commonly accepted because it is seen more. But there are still some problems that occur within being open by these things. I believe because I have seen and noticed that social media impacts these things positively. I think that because it allows the people that believe in the same thing come together and open people's eyes and make them more aware of the things. There are still some of the negative people in the world that do have negative things to say about these people, but overall I think it is helping people. Social media allows people to come out and show their secrets if they are confident enough to do so. Social media plays a big role in everyone's life and it makes huge impacts on our lives too. Like Kelly Arosetta wrote in her article Death on Facebook, examining the roles of social media communication of the braver, social media technologies influence our rational lives in various ways. She is right. Social media does influence our lives. In many ways, social media influences how people identify themselves, including their gender, ethnicity, and even their sexual orientation. All these new ways of identifying yourself are being seen because of social media. I think it is a good thing that people are being open about these things. It's good because it allows them to express how they feel, and it also educates the people who aren't educated about it. There is probably some negativity that comes along with this, but there is positive. People being open about how they identify themselves in social media is a good thing because it allows people to become more educated on the different ways people identify themselves. Social media allows people who are gay, Muslim, and transgender express how they feel. This allows them to be true to themselves. This impacts them because I'm sure something someone posted made people accept that they were gay or transgender. It allows people to get through life even if they are judged by the society. Most of the time, Facebook and social media programs have positive impacts on these things to me. Social media allows people to be more accepting to gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation because they are able to have their eyes opened by what people are posting. With the positives that come along with the social media, like people being able to express their feelings, there are negative things that come along too. People are able to lie about their true identities on social media accounts. So if people talk to someone via social media, how do you know what they are telling you is true or not? It allows people to stretch, change, and shatter their true identities. Many of social media users suffer from other users lying to them about their true identities. The common term used to lying about your identity on social media is called catfish. When you are tricked by one of these catfish, it is called being catfished. Catfish are people who lie, stretch, and shatter their identities. They lie about who they are. Scholars have done a lot of research on why people alter their identities online, but no one actually knows why. There are multiple reasons to why someone would alter their identity. People alter their identities because they want to be someone they aren't. They want to act like someone they are not. Another reason people do this is just to mess with people and trick them into thinking they are talking to the person they are being told they are. It is very wrong to do those things. If people aren't comfortable with who they are, then maybe they should change. People shouldn't trick people either and make them believe they are talking to an actual real person, not just someone faking it. This is how people get hurt. How would the catfish feel if they got catfished? They probably wouldn't feel great. If people aren't happy with who they are, then they need to make a change, not fake something they are not. In today's society, people alter their identities because they feel a need to fit in. They stretch, change, and shatter their image just to feel normal. It is sad that people have to do that. Why can't people just be accepted for the way they are? People also change and shatter and stretch their identities because it's fun. It's not funny when it happens to people. It is sad to see what the world is coming to. People need to learn how to accept each other and themselves. They shouldn't be afraid to show their true identity. People shouldn't have to stretch, change, and shatter their identities to be accepted in this world. Social media has shaped the world and societies for years now, and it is never going away. People at Facebook influence their identity. People at Facebook and other social media sites influence their identities because they think it's okay. David Brunskill writes about how image is defined. He wrote, "Image is defined by symbolic representation and conception created in the minds of people, especially the general public. Themselves and the public influence their identities. They let it impact their gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. People have let social media take over their lives. Some people live behind their computer screens. People have begun catfishing because they think it's funny or they can't accept who they are. This world is dominated by social media like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and it's going to remain that way forever. So why do people at social media run their lives? People let these social media programs like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter control their lives. They let them control their lives because they think that is how you fit in with society. They let them alter their identities. They let them impact their gender, race, and sexual orientation, all because they want to fit in with society. In this world today, society should accept who you are, and social media shouldn't control people's lives. Why let a stupid social media network influence your identity when you have this whole wonderful earth around you to do so? People need to come together and realize how social media is dominating our world. There are some good things that come out of people allowing Facebook to impact their gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation because it allows them to speak out about how they feel. So why can't they do this in real life and not just on social media? They don't do it because they let social media influence their identities too much, and they are not confident enough to be the real person they are. Outside social media accounts. The world is a beautiful place and it should be accepting for everything. People are hiding because of our society. There are good things that come out of social media, but they need to be translated into real life and just not on social media accounts. Today's world is dominated and ran by social media. Facebook is a big one. Facebook influences people's identities and impacts their gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation, and sometimes even causes some people to stretch, change, and shatter their identities, all due to our society. There are pros that come from Facebook, but there are also a lot of cons. It is okay to live in a world dominated by social media, but they shouldn't let it influence their identities. It is up to the society to realize such things are happening and changes need to be made. People need to be accepted for who they are. People shouldn't feel the need to let Facebook and other social media programs influence their identities.